Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Hope you're doing great today, having a wonderful morning or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm having a great cup of tea this morning. I'm having my Irish breakfast tea. Now, Irish breakfast. I mentioned this the other day because I didn't know what the difference was between Irish breakfast and English breakfast because I like them both, but I really like this Irish. And I thought, why is that? So I checked online and it turns out that English breakfast is a dark tea, but it's used with teas from Ceylon, Sri Lanka, and the Irish breakfast is made with more black tea from Assam. So I love Assam tea. It's really hard to find it, and so I that's why I like this Irish breakfast so much. So anyway, cheers everyone. Hope that you've got a cup of tea that you love and something special for yourself. But I wanted to mention to you that today's show is sponsored by International Living. International Living is a company that's if you're thinking about retiring abroad, maybe this is on your mind. You want to try something maybe for only a few months a year, or perhaps you're ready to make a whole new change and move to a different country. They actually have people on the ground around the world, and these people investigate, what's really going on, healthcare, cost of living, culture. And then they put together this index that compares and contrasts. So it's a really good source of information if you in one place if you're looking for information on how to retire abroad or where to retire abroad. So go up to internationalliving.com/60andme, and there's a little video there you can watch if you like, but also just leave your email and they'll send you a link to the Global Retirement Index. And when you get a first email back from them, you'll see a link at the very, very top. And that's where the link is to the free guide. No obligation. So I hope that you're all doing well. As I said, we do a lot of articles here, and I talk about all kinds of interesting topics about fashion and beauty and lifestyle and retirement. But I wanted to do a chat today on something super practical. Carol Stanley is one of our bloggers, and she writes all the time. She does wonderful recipes, and also she's an artist, and she does all kinds of wonderful artistic things too. But she wrote this article on 10 herbs and spices that are good for you and how to use them. Now, I knew that by name most of these spices and herbs that she mentions, but a lot of them have very strong health benefits according to research, and Carol mentions that in her article. As I said before many times, this is not medical advice. If I say something that I'm repeating what Carol has said, what she and her sources are in the article. But most important, you just need to check with your own doctor, your own with your own medical, advice in case any of these are allergic to you, or you're allergic to them, or whatever. But they're pretty basic ones. You probably heard of most of these. You just may never have made the connection with them being good for your health. Now, you can grow your own spices and herbs. That's probably the best way to do this, to get them really fresh, but you can get them in powders and just about everywhere now because people are using more spices and herbs in their cooking. So, the difference between herbs and spices, or herbs, I don't know how you say it in the States. I say herbs. I think it's maybe herb, but anyway, however you say it, it's the herb is the leaf of the plant, and the spice is the root, the ground up from the root or the bark or the seeds or sometimes the leaves. So the herb is actually the plant, the leaves of the plant, and the spices are the product that's ground up from those plants. So that's the difference. That's important. These are 10 of Carol's favorites, and the first one is basil. Most of you know basil because you use it if you do any Italian cooking and spaghetti or sauces. Basil's you're pretty familiar with it. But did you know that it's actually rich in minerals and vitamins? Basil, holy basil tea is really, really good for you, but basil is one that's healthy as well as tasty. The next one is coriander and cilantro. Now, coriander is the name from the seed, what comes from the seed, and cilantro is the leaves from the same plant. So the cilantro plant produces coriander. So coriander seeds are used in curries. Cilantro might be used in Mexican dishes, but it's spicy. And it's also very rich in vitamin K and potassium. And potassium is super important for you too. So that's coriander and cilantro. Cumin. Cumin is great for Mexican dishes and also for curries. They use it a lot in Indian cooking. Very pungent, delicious taste, and it's got a great a number of B vitamins, and B vitamins it can also help your digestive health. So that's another reason to think about adding cumin to a meal. Another one that Carol talks about is, I've never really tried this before, but it sounds very intriguing, and that's fennel. Now, fennel is like a bulb. It comes in, from the ground. It's actually looks like celery, but it's actually a very different taste completely. You can use it in curries, and I've actually heard too that it's extremely good for your stomach. And if you've got like an upset stomach or constipation, that fennel is a really good thing to take. And it's got I forget what it's dietary fiber. I don't know about the minerals and vitamins, but fennel is a really good, interesting plant to eat. Garlic. Okay, I very rarely use garlic, but it's got a great taste, and a lot of people who really know how to cook love it. And it's used in all kinds of variety of different dishes. It's got antibacterial qualities, which is really, really interesting, and lots of vitamins and minerals. So it's a super good, healthy, and it's actually good, I think, when you have a cold. I can't remember, someone else told me that, but that's just my memory, either fading or remembering. But the next thing is one of my favorites, and that's ginger. Ginger is a huge family of plants. They're like that kind of a root. They look like a root, and for me, I love the taste of ginger tea. I just chop up the ginger, put some honey, hot water, a bit of lemon. It's just honestly almost every night I have ginger or turmeric tea. You can grate it from the ginger root, and again, lots of vitamins, minerals, and super good for your digestion. If you have a queasy stomach when you're traveling or on a plane or train, ginger chews are good to use, but the plant itself is amazing. Oregano. Now, there's lots of different oreganos, and there's lots of actually plants that grow in the Mediterranean area that are super good for you. It's used in Italian and Mexican dishes, but it's good for a respiratory issue. If you've got a chest, something wrong with your chest, and also aids digestion. That's oregano. And then the other one that kind of almost goes together with it is rosemary. And rosemary is, of course, great with pork and lamb and all these meat dishes, but it's also really good for your digestion. It's anti-inflammatory. And also, I made a note here that Carol says it's good for your skin and your hair. So if you've got kind of dull hair, you can try a little bit of rosemary in your, I think you can make rosemary tea. I seem to remember rosemary tea when I was younger, but yeah, it's a really, really good plant. And actually, if you check out some of the countries around the world that have these, they call them blue spots, where people live to historically be older than 100, that you'll find that in their diet, there's a lot of basil, oregano, rosemary, those mountain herbs that grow in Greece and Italy, other places like that. So it's not just a myth. The research shows it anyway. Another one is tarragon. It's actually considered a herb because the leaves are used, and it's actually popular in meat dishes and so on, but it's very good in vitamins A and C and antioxidants. And these are the things that protect you from the free radicals in the air, the pollution, the things that are all around us. These antioxidants are really great for keeping your body clean of these toxins around you. And then finally, my favorite, drum roll, is turmeric. Turmeric, for me, is an amazing spice. It fights inflammation. It should have a proportion of something called curcumin. Curcumin comes in turmeric, and some of the very inexpensive cooking turmerics do not have curcumin in them. So if you're using those powders in a drink thinking you're going to get the benefit, you need to look in an organic store, or just make sure you check the ingredients and what percentage of the turmeric is curcumin. It's really important to do that. And I'll just, and always add black pepper to a curcumin turmeric drink. Just sprinkle a little bit in there. It just activates the turmeric. Same for cooking. If you're cooking with turmeric, always add a teeny bit of pepper. It just brings it into full force. Its magic is intensified. So that's the 10 that Carol thinks are her favorites. And I think that's a pretty good list, actually. I mean, are there any spices that we haven't mentioned that you use in cooking that you think are healthy for you? I mean, I could think of a couple more, maybe cinnamon and a few others, but I think that's a darn good list. So what other spices do you use in different cooking dishes? And have you made any unique discoveries about spices and herbs? Please share in the section below. Let's have a chat. But thanks for being here. And as always, you feel comfortable leaving comments in these article sections. We really do value your engagement. And it's kind of what we're here for. I mean, of course, you're welcome to read and just absorb and take the free content that we provide. But if you do want to really get the most out of it, it's nice to share it with a friend or make a comment. It's always appreciated. So tell us what herbs and spices you love. Look, have a great day. I really do hope that you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and take care of yourselves. Eat well, eat healthy. Go buy some herbs and spices. They're not too expensive, and you can add them to your dishes and add some value as well. So take good care, everybody. Have a great day, and go out and do something really wonderful, something interesting. Have a nice meal. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.